How's it going, guys? Right now I'm in Hawthorne District, enjoying the weather. How was your October? What'd you do? For me, I did a lot. I was working part-time job, doing full-time school, and then still had time to do the Inktober challenge. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. I wanna talk to you about the Inktober challenge and what I learned from it, but also tips and anything that could help you for your next art challenge. So if you don't know me, I'm Derek from Spookies. I'm not an artist, I'm an engineer. So to draw every single day was definitely a challenge for me, but I had a lot of fun with it. Also stay tuned because I'm gonna have the caption contest winner featured at the end of this episode. And I'm actually about to go mail the print to her right now. So anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so deciding to draw every single day was definitely more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. However, because I said I was going to do Inktober, I had to do Inktober. I told myself I was going to do something, so I have to do it. I have to have that mindset going into anything I start, any project, anything that you do, to build that professional skill set. You can't expect someone to hire you or to elicit your services if you don't perform, right? So if you're someone who says you're going to do something but then you end up not finishing your projects, you have a lot of projects that you've started but you don't have any that you finish, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, right? Because people are not going to be able to rely on you to complete work. So that's the mindset I had going into it, and I knew that because I had told myself I'm going to do Inktober and I started doing it every single day. By day 15, I had a math test coming up, and it was stressing me out, but I still had to draw every single day. So I had to really learn how to manage my time and how to be productive, right? Because I didn't want to just draw stuff that I didn't like, or I didn't want to do anything I didn't want to do. I wanted to draw something that I could appreciate. I wanted to make art that I was somewhat stoked to share with people. But at the same time, I also wanted to get an A on my math test. So because I had so many different things competing with my time, it really allowed, and at the same time, I don't have a lot of professional techniques with drawing. So I was learning a new skill on top of mastering a skill I'm already familiar with and competing with time, like for instance my part-time job. Another thing is that drawing every single day, having to start and complete a finished work every single day, made it to where I didn't want to just do the same thing every day, and I had 31 pieces to complete. So because it was so much and it was every single day, I started pushing myself, doing things that I normally wouldn't have drawn, or doing a world building thing where I started creating characters out of the stuff I was drawing. Another thing is that when you're creating work every single day, you move through your creative block. There was a few times when I had no idea what I wanted to draw. I didn't have any ideas or anything like that, but you move through it when you have a deadline that you have to do. And you become more, at least for me, my experience with this was that I became more creative in what I was drawing, and I moved through the creative block. So if you don't have any ideas right now, if you don't know what to draw or you don't know what art to create, just draw anything. Just keep drawing, keep doing it. Don't wait for the idea to come to you, right? You have to go after inspiration with the club. So those are the things I learned. I learned to basically push myself. If you keep at something, inspiration will come. Some tips I can give you for your next Inktober or for your next art challenge or for anything really, to manage your time well. So during this process I was developing a routine, and I would have kind of a specific time every day that I would draw. I feel like it trained my mind and trained my muscles to kind of, when that time came, I just got ready to draw, and I probably produced art at a faster rate than I would have otherwise if it was just at a random time during the day or anything like that. I also learned to double up on my tasks. So if I was eating lunch, I would be either sketching an idea out that I would draw or develop later that day, or in the morning time, if I had an idea or something, I would, sketch it out, or I have a notepad on my phone, I would just write ideas out. So depending on what I'm doing, then I can just come back to it later and pick up on it. So manage your time well and double up on things if you can. Another thing is find a balance between producing work and perfecting it, polishing it. Some of the things I shared weren't polished works or anything like that, and none of it was really polished and the way I would want it, because it was just ink, it was traditional art. But there comes a point in the creative process where you have to kind of call it complete and move on, because you're only going to get better if you create 1,000 of those things, right? You need to keep creating, keep going through it. You're not going to perfect that one piece of art and that's going to be your masterpiece. A lot of times you don't know which piece of art is going to become your masterpiece. The point is just to keep creating, keep doing it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't put any effort in. I'm just saying give yourself a time frame or a percentage of work complete where you're fine with it and you can move on. Because then you'll go on to your next project with that wisdom that you just, and that experience that you just learned, and you'll develop an even better piece of art, right? So just keep creating, keep producing, keep finishing your projects. Also, I think sometimes people get kind of caught up in sharing their work online because they feel ridiculed or that people will judge them or anything. And it's cliche, but I mean, haters gonna hate. Like, you're not gonna, no matter what, there's always gonna be someone who's gonna not like what you're doing, right? No matter what you do, you can save the world, and someone's gonna be like, they didn't save it fast enough. Don't worry about them, right? I mean, for me, being an engineer, more technical, and creating art and then putting it out there, and I knew other artists were looking at it and seeing it, I was a little worried. I'm like, well, obviously I don't have the skill set that they do, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm just having fun with this. I'm learning. By producing something and sharing it, you're also getting that good feedback from people. So you're learning what people like, what people don't like, and not that it really matters, you want to do stuff that you like. It helps a lot when you get good feedback from people that you respect or people that have a good eye. Because a lot of times I would put something out and people would comment certain things, or I would do polls on my story for Instagram, and people would kind of tell me what they liked more and what they didn't, and I could develop more of a sense of the difference between what is considered appealing with my art and then what was not considered appealing, or what I could improve on and stuff like that. So if you don't care about what people think, the negative criticism or the judgment from people, you're able to focus on the criticism that is constructive, and you can put that into your own work and you can develop and become a better person from it. So haters gonna hate, man. Don't worry about it. Also, if you miss a day, don't just give up completely, right? Catch up. It's the same thing as like the mentality of if you go on a diet or something and then you cheat, and then you're like, the whole day is ruined, I might as well just cheat constantly. If you make a mistake, if you're trying to do something and you make a mistake, don't just forego the entire thing. Just catch up or do what you have to do, and just keep at it. Just focus and learn from your mistakes, right? You're supposed to make mistakes. That's the thing. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. And anyone who accomplished anything, anyone who succeeded at anything, just made more mistakes than you did. Take it as a promise to yourself that you're going to complete something. I think that the more you get into the habit of completing your work, the better at anything you will become. That translates across any field, any craft. It's not just drawing. It's not just art. If you want to get better at something, start small, but keep working at it. Keep completing those things, sharing it with people, talking about it with people. And then the better you get at it, you can share your wisdom and your knowledge with other people, which I think is super rad. So yeah, I thought it'd be cool if I shared some of the things that I learned. The winner of the caption contest is right here. Check her out, check her Instagram out. Make sure to follow her, check her art out. I appreciate everyone participating in it as well. I think it was a really cool, interesting and weird thing to do, and it was cool that people were into it. I really appreciate the feedback I got from this project. I appreciate the feedback I got from my art pieces. I really liked the sense of community that Inktober has, and I really like the artist community a lot. I feel like a lot of people are a lot more forgiving, and they're a lot more encouraging and empowering. So yeah, I had a fun time. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you learned something from this video. That's all. Make sure if you dig this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. We're always going to be producing new videos every week, and we'll be coming out with a lot more artwork as well. So we have a lot of plans in store. We have a lot of different series going on, and it's going to get pretty exciting the next few months. So I'm stoked for it. I hope you're stoked for it. Later!